Welcome everyone to episode 4 of Time for Tech. On this series, we round up the main tech stories that you should hear about. Let's get started. Before we start this video, also I want you guys to go down there and click that like button. Let's try to get this video to 15 likes. Our first story today comes from Google, which announced Stadia. With this, you can stream games at 4K 60 frames per second, which offers really smooth gameplay.
This platform is a competitor to both Sony and Microsoft, made by Google. It features its own controller and a monthly subscription.
And so with that subscription, it's a lot more different than the Xbox, because with Xboxes and PlayStations, you'd always have to go and download a game, install it in order to go and play them, or you'd also have to go and buy a bunch of games unless you signed up for Xboxes. I forget what it's called.
Xbox Live Gold and PlayStation Plus, yet this one is a subscription with games and online play.
And you get that all for free, bundled in there. But the cool thing though is that you don't have to install any of that in this. You just open up a game, and like you were just saying, it opens up in 5 seconds.
The first beta release was Assassin's Creed Odyssey in October of 2018. I do not know why, but that was one of the most popular games of 2018.
Okay, next story. Our next story comes from Tesla, who's finally come out with Advanced Summon. And with this feature, your car can basically, from your phone or on the key fob, you can just hold down the summon button, and wherever you are, as long as you're within, I think it's 150 feet, might be, or at least when you're pretty close to the car will start to pull out of a parking space and literally turn the wheels as shown in this video, and it'll basically come up right up to you. And that's pretty cool though if it's raining outside and you don't really want to go and get your car from the other lot. And so it's kind of helpful for those situations.
My thoughts on this is I think it's a great idea, but it will be so much better when the range develops. As far as its working progress, it's one of the best ideas of 2019. And I'm pretty impressed that they can get this in a car with artificial intelligence. This current feature is related in the full Model 3 self-driving package, and soonly enough it will probably be in every other Tesla upgraded.
But I do think though that it might not be in every Tesla. I think it might be every Tesla that you get the full self-driving package with autopilot too, because I know that from the 2016 Model X's, those ones still have autopilot 1, and the ones prior to that, they don't have all this full self-driving. But anyone I think past the 2017 mark with autopilot 2 and that kind of package, I think they will get it. Next story.
Our third topic of the day is coming from Tesla yet again in this event in Canada called Pawn to Own.
Pawn to Own is basically an event in Vancouver where a bunch of companies sponsor this, and this one it's Microsoft and Tesla, and they've kind of partnered up in this. And Tesla has given out one of their Model 3s, and anybody who can hack into it and find bugs and stuff in the car, they get to keep it. And so one of these hackers, they hacked into the car, and so now they get to keep it because Tesla wants to go and find all the vulnerabilities and bug fixes and stuff that they need to go and add into these cars.
My thoughts on this is it is one of the most genius ideas ever for Tesla. It's a smart thing giving a person a car and having somebody actually hack into the car, finding all the bugs and viruses that could make the car vulnerable on the streets.
Next story. Our last piece of news today comes from Apple, which has now come out with their Airpods 2. And it is kind of a silent release because they didn't really tell anybody about this. They kind of hinted at it, but no big events went on. And basically with these new AirPods, it has a 30% better gaming latency, which I kind of find weird because you can't use these with an Xbox. I don't know, you might be able to use it with Google Stadia that we just talked about, but I mean it's kind of, I don't think anybody's using these really for gaming unless it's mobile gaming. But anyways, you still have 30% faster speeds, But the big thing though that they have is wireless charging.
These AirPods 2, really just a variation of the originals, start at $199.99, or if you want to be like me, $200. These things, I feel like, you know, it's great to come out with new stuff, but like, with the regular AirPods, $150. You know, I'm not gonna say that's a bad price, but it's more reasonable than these. But another thing about these is they also have a voice-enabled Siri, which surprises me that they aren't charging even more for these.
It's a decent price, I guess, in the end. I mean, $200 isn't terrible. I mean, that's kind of what like a lot of like these wireless earbuds are at. But I own like Anchor Soundbuds Slim Plus. I mean, they still have a little wire between them, but those things only cost me around $30 versus these that cost a lot more. But if you really want like fully wireless, I do actually recommend the Samsung Galaxy Buds. Those ones are $130. They do pretty much the exact same thing, and they still work with the iPhone. They don't have like the same pairing process, but I mean, you can still use Siri, just not like Hey Siri support on it. But I think that those might be a better option.
Also, I'd like to say I've never really liked the idea of AirPods. I wish they would have like some support that could make them go around the ears, because otherwise you're gonna find yourself replacing these things, or they might just fall out of your ears when like you're getting on a train. You're going onto a train, and these $200 wireless earphones just fall out. You never see them again. Come on, Apple, let's see some like headphones at least.
It would be kind of nice though if, I mean, I've seen other companies do this where they actually sell like a real wire. Like you can just buy it for like $20, and it's basically a wire that connects both your earpods together. And if they had something kind of like that, or if they at least offered that in like a better platform, then I would honestly like, I think that I would definitely consider it more. But with these, it's just that you could easily lose them. And they're like just so small. That's kind of my thought with all wireless earbuds in general. Not just with these. Yeah, I mean, if you're like running around too, they don't really stay in your ear as well. They're comfortable, but just they're not really the greatest all-around solution.
And me, I'm a big supporter of Apple. I'm like all out Apple Pro, and it's just like, come on, dude, I want to get like some of your branded earphones. I mean, I'm a big supporter of you guys, but when you're selling like stuff like this for $200 that I'm gonna have to replace 4 times a year, I could just buy a brand new iPhone X off Amazon with that same amount of money that I would be spending replacing these. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and also please consider clicking that subscribe button.
I'll see you next time on Tech Device News.